Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm Paul.
And I'm Jake.
So yeah, we were excited when we saw the APIs list at the beginning, and we kind of started conceptualizing around different like music themed. I don't know. Does everyone likes music here, right? Yeah. So we went with that assumption, and we created Artist 360. So we used a few APIs here, and basically the design is you search here in our modal, and then you search for an artist. So it's like if you hear of a new artist that you never heard of, or you want to look up a band that you like, you can search it here. I don't know, something we've never heard of before, maybe Coldplay. Spelling right? Yeah. Oh, look at that. We have a bio of Coldplay, a British rock band formed in 1966 by lead vocalist and keyboardist Chris Martin. And so yeah, goes through here, and then we can click on YouTube here button, and it'll load the top 10 tracks, and of course we can play it. Very beautiful. I should
That's the rest of the presentation.
kill that. Yeah, we just listen to music from here on.
We have 7 minutes to kill it.
And yeah, so over here is like we're connected to Firebase, and it has the history here of what other people have been looking for. So kind of like a trending feed. And our random button here just pulls up random artists for discovery purposes. And yeah, you can go back to YouTube and get some great songs from Dr. Dre. It's my favorite. Yeah, so I was largely responsible for CSS and conceptual design, like the buttons down here at the bottom and the footer and stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna kick it off to these guys. They want to talk about it.
Yeah. So with this app, I think when we were talking about design, we kind of wanted it to be more like a mobile app, and so that's why we put the buttons on the bottom. Kind of like Facebook, where you get all the information on the bottom. So we connected the bio. My role was mainly setting up all the HTML for the page and then connecting a few different APIs. So the first one that I connected was Wikipedia, which displays the image, their bio. If you want more information, you just click on the name, and then just puts you straight to the original page. So let's go back to the app. One initial issue that we had was when we did implement the YouTube, it would just it wouldn't be a refined search. It would just show up random like covers or stuff like that. So I found an API called Music Graph, and by itself it's not useful at all. I mean, it's pretty terrible API. But one thing that was interesting was it gave a YouTube ID, and so Paul and I kind of figured out. Actually, Paul figured out how to implement that YouTube API or the YouTube ID with the YouTube API. If you want to talk about that.
So Music Graph, we had a lot of problems with that, but when we got working, we got that YouTube ID. And we found that the YouTube ID was actually a channel ID for that specific artist. So we transferred that YouTube ID or channel ID to the YouTube API. And after that, we were able to get the top 10 tracks of the YouTube API. Then using that channel ID, we also used the YouTube API to get the playlist. So we search it by playlist. Well, not playlist, by video IDs of the top 10 tracks. Because after you get the channel ID, using that search of that artist, you get all the playlists, or not playlists, sorry,
The channel, right?
channel ID, and it was the video ID. Then we loop through the video IDs and display the videos. And that's when we press the random button. That's when we got Eminem, then we go to YouTube. This is where music graph in the behind, you don't see it at all. We get the YouTube ID, then from that we get YouTube ID, which is the channel ID of the artist Eminem, Love the Way You Lie, Rihanna, Not Afraid. Then, Not Afraid. We should sing it after. Then we got all these 10, then in the JavaScript we just use a for loop to loop through all the video IDs that we got from the channel ID. Then here's a random button. That one was using Music Graph to get a random artist, then we just transfer that info to YouTube and bio. So Music Graph is our bread and butter to make the YouTube and bio work and refined.
So yeah, so some future improvements that we'd like to do was basically when you do do an initial search, pops up. One quick thing about the Wikipedia API is that we also had issues refining our search to show the band, like Muse. If I were to type in Muse and just the Wikipedia search, it would show one of the Greek gods, muses, and that's not what we want. So we just added, we took the variable of what we were searching, and then we just added bands to it, and so that kind of narrowed down the search. So if it has anything to do with a band or an artist, boom. So that helped out. That was one issue that we had. Another thing is Music Graph does do a Spotify ID as well. So we had some issues getting the Spotify API to work. Once we do that, then we can just do the same thing that we did with YouTube. We just throw in that Spotify ID, and then it would do the artist playlist. We'd like to do a Twitter feed as well to show what the bands are tweeting, all the all the cool information there, and then we would like to link up to Ticketmaster, their API, so you can go to some cool shows. So with this global feed, you're just seeing all the what people are searching, and it's not just you, it's everyone, and we'd like to be able to click that, and so you can see, you don't have to manually search for what people are showing. It just clicks, and then you see the bio and you see the YouTube videos as well. And then for right now, our random button is kind of like our developer's choice. We created that array. What we'd like to do is have Firebase. So every time someone searches, it's stored in Firebase, and that's what is showing up on the global search feed. So we would like to push that into the array of what we created. That way, the random button is constantly updating, and so the more people are using it, the better that random button is featured. And then we'd like to also filter out any, if it already exists in that array, that it would not get pushed. So yeah, those are some additional features that we'd like to do.
Additional features would be the Spotify, and from that we can also get the top 10 tracks and actually play the songs. Then, as Jake said, we want the Ticketmaster API. Doing that, we can, let's say you're out and you want to get tickets from Coldplay. We like Coldplay.
Yeah.
I remember we had a list of Coldplay searches from our global feed. I think I was the one that mostly did that, Coldplay. So improvements would have been Ticketmaster, then the karaoke one.
Oh, yes.
Karaoke.
Yes.
YouTube karaoke.
We tried,
the lyrics.
yeah, pull up the lyrics. So further improvements, we had the karaoke API, but we had to do a subscription feed. But we're like, we don't want to do that. So instead, further improvements would be like tag the YouTube search with karaoke. So we can just pop the YouTube and sing along with the karaoke API. But we found out that when we did that, it was like, let's say you did Muse and karaoke, sometimes it would be different artists, or maybe Pokemon karaoke, or something like that. But those are further improvements. We really wanted to sing along while searching. Like, let's say you're at a concert and just want to learn the songs like right away, like just sing it.
Pretty much your go-to prep for discovering a new artist. Like, oh, I don't know any of these songs. That's it.
All right.
Live and learn.
Any questions for Artist 360? Seriously? All right, that's fine. Well, then clap for them.